Welcome back, everyone. This is Dom, and this is going to be a small episode about what I've been working on this past couple days. As you can tell, I'm in my test world with my few models of D.A.M.P farms around. So what I'm going to do is show you what I've been working on recently. Oh yeah, it's kind of ugly because this is all testing logic. And all the wiring isn't concealed yet, but it works. And what is it, you ask? Let's go ahead and show you. Let's see. Okay, this is a fully automatic melon farm. Fully automatic. The only thing you have to do is make sure this is completely tilled before you start the process. That's it. Okay. Right now, I'm just going to show you a demo of exactly how it works. Flip the switch up. Wait for all your melons to stop coming down, because you actually can see through this little window, a handy dandy window. Okay. All of the melons are down. Flip switch back down. Cool, cool. Awesome, awesome. All the melons come on over here. So you can go ahead and pick them up. I don't have any space in my inventory. There we go. Pick them up. Awesome. And, okay, now this is where the logic gets in the way, because I would have had it wired up to the same switch, but it will work either way. So, as you can tell in the down position, when I flipped that switch up, I'm going to show you, because that doesn't do anything with that one up. You know, okay, the water comes down, pushes the melons whenever it's in the up position. Whenever it's switched down, it stops the water and pushes down the soil. So these, in other words, theoretically could be put on the same switch, which they will be. So whenever this one goes back down, sends a small pulse after a little bit of a wait, because we had to wait for those to go back down, and it moves all the soil. I know it's kind of a very slow, grueling process, but you actually wouldn't have to be here for this part if you think about it. This would just be, you know, you pick up all your melons, you flip switch back down, and you can just walk right away. Okay, and whenever you want to come back in here, you would just make sure this was all done. And this will never go back because it will be hydrated, because there is water on the other side over here. Okay, ooh, cool, we have a new melon already. So what you do is you flip the switch up, water brings the melon slices to you. You would theoretically just switch it back down, just like I'm going to do over here. Pretend this is the same switch for me, please. And it's ready. And there it goes. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how it works, just a little bit. And, okay. So what happens is, I'm going to get to the logic later. But I'll get to this now. Basically, every single time it pushes the soil block forward, it gets pulled down. The reason why is because if you push it down from above, you'll destroy the land. So it needs to be pulled down, and then it's pushed over. The only reason why it actually needs to be do that is because this whole row is longer than 12, and this would have been a very small farm if I made it, you know, being able to be pushed directly just by these ones the whole way across. So the farm only would have been like 4 blocks or 6 blocks or something like that wide. Instead of 8, I would rather have 8, you know, just because it makes water easier, and it makes, you know, you have an extra 4 spots of growing. Okay, it gets pushed over here. You know, it gets pushed into place. The excess ones get pushed over to this piston, which actually cycle them back down and under. See, this block gets pushed in that direction, which means, and then it, you know, hits a couple of more pistons, which keeps on pushing it this direction and up. So in other words, it's a big chain, so it's a loop. It goes under, up, over, down. So it just keeps on doing that. But from this point until it's used, you want to make sure that the soil never has a single block above it. Any block above it will destroy it, except for fences. I mean, not fences. Ladders, I saw. Anything really will make these back into dirt. So that's why it's completely open air above the blocks the whole way. Also, it makes a really nice handy window for you to be able to see whenever all your melons are done. Okay, let's show you what happens whenever this goes up. All the melons are thrust upward, just like in my Mark III design, which is over there. But this time there is a water stream, which pushes all of those melons that are thrusted up over the edge and into another water stream. This water stream brings them over here. Ooh, gosh. This water stream brings them over here, where you push on this pressure plate and it brings them up to you. I didn't feel like having an automated, like, pushing up mechanism. This works perfectly enough. Okay, and whenever you flip this back down, this switch right here, it turns off the water. It waits just the perfect amount of time and brings the soil blocks back down. Just because the water will destroy your crops, and then yeah, you don't want that to happen. And as you can tell, there's 1, 2, 3 blocks, you know, that where the melons were, that are turned back into normal dirt, and you want them into this farmland block. So, like I said, whenever you switch that back down, it's as if you did it over here. Because I will get it wired right on the actual version that's going in my Let's Play series. Yes, I'm going to build one in the Let's Play. And then it gets pushed back down, sends the signal. That delay is to match this delay right here. So in other words, if I didn't have that delay in there, it would start pushing the blocks when these were still up in the air. These middle blocks were still up in the air. Man, this lags a lot. So that's why you'd want to walk away. And it's a completely automated system. It works really well, I think. I think I will be building this one in my Let's Play series. But I will be probably building the Mark III first. On the ground. If you guys have been keeping up with the Let's Play, I'll just build it on the ground temporarily. And then I might build one of these in place of it. No, I will build one of these in place of it. How about that? And that's it. So let me bring you over here real fast. What makes this go exactly, see, as you can tell, it goes exactly 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It moves this all over 8 blocks. So let's go over here. These are 4 T flip-flops wired up in like a series. What happens is every single time this one gets triggered, it puts a positive on this. Every single time that positive goes to negative, which means this one's been triggered again. This one gets triggered. So in other words, it actually counts. So by the time it gets over to here and this one switches states, it's 8. So what that does is allow this clock to run, because the output of this last one is used to turn off this clock. Okay, there probably is a better way to do this, but this is how I figured it out. Okay, so then you have also, to start the system, you toggle the last T flip-flop over here, which allows the clock to run because it turns off this positive signal which is running through. And that's it. Really, that's it. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want me to build one for a tutorial or something, it might have to be split up into between 2 videos, but I definitely will if I get enough people yelling at me to do it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.